are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me over.
Come on in. Okay, you too, Oscar. No going anywhere. Silly.
So, Dominique, how are you doing these days?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. I know a lot of you have been inquiring, and I just want you to know that I am doing well and looking forward to all good things in the new year.
Awesome. And you have a book coming out, right?
I do. April 5th of 2022. One of those good things. It's called Life Makeover, Embrace the Bold, Beautiful, and Blessed You. And it's really just a deeper dive of what I've been talking about on YouTube. It's about living your best life. It's about self-care. It's about finding your passions, your purpose, hooking into those, and really developing yourself and feeling fulfilled in a way that maybe you've never felt before.
That's amazing. And what would you say it is that inspired you to write this book?
I would say a lot of different inspirations, but really it came from whenever I would do those deeper talks on YouTube, those Q&A videos, or my health, wellness, and weight loss journey, or the Keeping It Classy video. I would get a lot of comments from viewers saying, you know, I think you've got more in you. You ought to write a book. And so the seed was getting planted over the years. But there was one day in church in 2018, and I was sitting there listening to the service, and I got a tap on my shoulder behind me, and a woman whispered in my ear, "You should write a book." And I thought, okay, you know, I'm hearing this in church. Maybe this is just divine inspiration that I'm receiving. And so I sat with my computer outside on a beautiful fall day in 2018, and that's when I started writing. All right, well, come on into my kitchen. This is a very open concept.
Awesome.
As you can see, so there's not much separation from the entryway to the kitchen. But I have a really nice little wine cooler over here. So if I could offer you a glass.
Absolutely.
I do have one open. It's just the Santa Margherita Pinot Grigio. Very affordable wine. You can get anywhere. I love it.
So, what do you think is your favorite thing to cook in here?
Well, DoorDash is my favorite thing. You know, I still have not been able to sink my teeth into cooking on a regular basis. I did do Thanksgiving in this house, which was so cool to be able to do. And I had my mom and my son for Thanksgiving, and it was a meal that my dad used to cook every year when he was still alive. And so for me, it was a true honor to be able to make that meal. And I was in here because it started with the cake in the morning. You're welcome. And by the time I finished cleaning, so cake started at 9 in the morning and I finished cleaning at 9 o'clock at night. So it was a 12-hour experience, and I think it kind of traumatized me from doing anything further. So I've been ordering in a lot.
So since you're not much of a cook, where is your favorite place for takeout?
Well, since I DoorDash, you can get from anywhere, but one of my favorite restaurants is called Flower Child here in Houston, and it's super, super healthy. Great variety. It's one of my favorite places. And of course, I love Thai food, Vietnamese, sushi. So that's kind of my go-to.
And what about breakfast? What's your go-to?
Okay, so that I actually cook. And well, hold on, let me take a sip and I can show you. Okay, come with me. So what I make every morning, and I am such a creature of habit. So this is literally every morning. And I really should say more like noon, 1 o'clock, because I do intermittent fasting. But it starts with an Ezekiel English muffin, and I do my own avocado toast. So I defrost that in the microwave, put it in the toaster oven, and then I use an organic vegan butter for making my very happy organic egg. And then I take avocado, and normally I leave avocados out, but they're in the refrigerator right now because they're on the cusp of almost being too ripe. So I take an avocado, and I take about half of it, and I squeeze half a lemon, and I mush that into a bowl, and I add salt and pepper, and I spread that paste on the muffin, add my easy over egg, and that's what I have every single day at 12 or 1 o'clock. I am truly a creature of habit.
That sounds amazing.
But it's good.
And what food or foods would you say are off limits to maintain whatever diet you're on?
Well, I mean, I hate to use the word off limits because I do indulge. I mean, I will have pizza, I will have cake, I will have cookies. I will allow myself to enjoy. I am just a huge proponent in moderation. I just believe that, you know, it's like the 90-10 rule. If you're kind of on your game 90% of the time, the 10% that you just decide to have whatever allows you to enjoy those things. I don't believe in guilt. I don't believe food should ever be punishment, a weapon, a form of manipulation. I think you need to be smart about it. And I love healthy food. So my normal 90% is lean protein, a lot of vegetables, berries and mixed fruit, a lot of water. And then the other 10% is anything. French fries. I'm a French fry freak, okay? If you put fries in front of me, they're gone in 2 seconds. So there you go.
And I know you said Flower Child is your favorite place for maybe a quick bite,
Yeah.
but where would be your favorite sit-down restaurant in Houston?
Oh my gosh, there are so many good restaurants here in Houston. I love, there's the Annie for a little bit of everything. There's Colonial for kind of French Vietnamese. I mean, Tony's is a staple here. It's been an institution forever. I don't know. I mean, there are so many good restaurants, but those are the first 3 that came to my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of dinner,
Yes.
if you could have dinner with anyone in the world, dead or alive, who would it be?
Wow, dinner with anybody, dead or alive. I would give one more chance to have dinner with my dad again.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
And I see that you have the wine glass in your hand.
You need one in yours.
Yes. And so what is your go-to wine?
So that Santa Margarita for a white Pinot Grigio, I just like it. It goes down, it's light. It's, I don't get headaches. Sometimes wine can give me a headache. I don't get a headache from that one. The price point's like $19. I love that. My favorite red is this one, and it's the Belle Glace Pinot Noir. A little pricier, but my gosh, if you're doing a dinner and you want to serve a nice wine, and it's not like crazy expensive, it's probably 40 something. I mean, some people spend, crazy money on wine. I'm like 50 and under is my threshold. So I love this one just for a nice, Pinot. It's a beautiful red. So there you go.
I'll have to try that one.
You must.
And what was your favorite meal that your mom made growing up?
Oh, so I would say she used to do raw Cornish game hen stuffed with wild rice and asparagus. So that was probably one of my favorites. And then she would do a shrimp and rice that I loved as well. Okay, so 2 favorites.
Yum.
Yeah.
And are you a coffee drinker?
Oh my God, am I a coffee drinker? Okay, you have to see this, really. So this is my espresso machine. And then these are the empty pods. But if you look in there, wait, okay, I have some unloading to do, but if you look up here, this is all coffee. So it goes from Amazon in boxes into this drawer, and then eventually gets unloaded, but it's all different Nespresso flavors. And I love it. I fill it up, so it's 2 pods per cup, and I have 2 cups, so 4 pods.
Any creamer or sugar?
Yes. So in here, well, I can unload this later. In here, this is really sweet. My former co-anchor, Bill Biessa, made this for me. He loves wood shopping, and he did this shape because he said it was like the shape of my mouth. I don't know if you see it. But I thought it was super, super cool. So it's this really neat canister, and in it I put my stevia packets. So I like to use the New Naturals stevia powder, and so I find 1 packet is perfect for a cup of coffee. And then I use So Delicious coffee creamer, and it is so delicious. And so it looks like this. And I have a milk frother, and this stuff froths like it's nobody's business. So you're kind of a barista in your own home, and by the time your coffee's done, it's beautiful, and it's got frothy whipped goodness up top with the stevia, and it's super healthy and super tasty.
Who needs Starbucks?
Come to my house.
Can we take a peek inside of your YouTube studio?
Yeah. Come with me. This way. Okay, so outside the kitchen is the first room, and it was a bedroom, but in my case, it's a YouTube studio. So
inventive.
come on in.
And so how many subscribers do you currently have on YouTube?
Currently, just shy of 1.6 million.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. You guys amaze me every single day. It kind of blows my mind. So it's super simple. All of this stuff is, most of it Amazon, literally. I think this whole room is Amazon, except for this desk, which was Pier 1. I don't even know if they're in business anymore. But it's unbelievably inexpensive, and lucky for me, I've got some experience in television, so I know about lighting, and I invested in a really good camera lens, which makes all the difference in the world. And so this is what you see. So I'll sit here, and then you can kind of peek through the ring light, and maybe I guess I have everything lit up.
Looks familiar.
Does it look familiar? There you go. There's the set.
And so how did you get started on YouTube?
I got started, somebody that I knew who had a YouTube channel. She was young, beauty vlogging and all of that. And she saw a video that I had posted when I worked at KPRC. I did kind of a reverse selfie eye makeup tutorial, and she said, oh my God, you need a YouTube channel. And back then, this was 2014, I didn't know what a YouTube channel was. I was so naive, and I said exactly that. A YouTube what? And she said, a YouTube channel where you actually put content and show people how to do these types of things. And I thought, wow, instead of having to tell people like I used to or type emails, this would be such a neat way to connect with women in a visceral way, in a deep kind of grassroots, organic way of being real and kind of starting from scratch and showing things that I've learned over the years. And that's how it started. And it's just mushroomed into this amazing community that continues to feed and provide me ideas and content and thoughts and all of that. And so, what started as a smoky eye has turned into so much more. And I'm really, really grateful for that.
What a great story. And so obviously you've created tons of videos.
Yes.
And so what is your favorite video that you've ever created?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I have a favorite. I would say makeup wise, the facelift makeup tutorial I thought was really compelling because I did half my face one way and half the face the other. And it was creating a lift. And I think that when you divide your face in the middle and you really show the difference in technique, it becomes such a visual story to be able to see, how one side of the face reads to a certain makeup style versus the other. And I thought that was a really impactful video in terms of just altering a few things that you do to create a lift in your look. So probably makeup wise, that one resonated. And I think a lot of the Q&A videos I've really loved, again, for that deeper level of talking about things that matter. I'm 54, so, whether it's relationships, whether it's bioidentical hormones, going through menopause, weight management, exercise, lifestyle, parenting, all those things that are such a huge part of who I am, those things get discovered in those videos. So I love those two. And again, I think my being open and honest about my health, wellness, and weight loss journey and the struggle that I had with that early on and how I was able to overcome it, that was a story that I was really eager to put out there, but also a little nervous about it because it's a big unzipping.
Yeah, I think we've all learned a lot.
Yeah.
And what do you think your least favorite video has been?
Least favorite? Oh my gosh, Courtney, I've done so many. I don't know. I can't say that there's a least favorite because if one person benefited from anything that I've put out there, then it's worth it. So, I mean, not all of them will be hits. Not all of them will speak to me in big ways. But again, it's about being impactful and being helpful. And so I really won't say there's a least favorite because, you know, if it did something for somebody, then it was worth it.
Would you say from start to finish,
Yes.
how long does it take you to create a YouTube video?
Oh my gosh. Well, it really depends on what that video is. Some videos can get knocked out in a couple of hours. And then some videos take so much more planning, preparation, you know, if it's shopping for product or, you know, just getting things together. It could be just preparation in terms of material. And then I would say the ones that take the longest are probably the wardrobe videos, all the fashion videos, because it's shopping for all the fashions. And then I got to break down the set and move things around, and then getting in and out of every outfit. And then the editing, and I edit all my videos too. So the editing of those videos can be a bit of a bear. And so those videos can be a full 2-day process. I've literally had, and so this is the weird thing about not working at Channel 2 anymore and physically leaving my home to go to work. There have been days where I think I've been here for 2 days straight and I can't remember where I parked. And I've literally chased my car in the garage. Am I on level 2? Nope. Am I on 3? Nope. Maybe I'm on 4. Oh my God, this is a nightmare. So yeah, I'm like, get out of the house because I can easily get trapped in all of this.
I think everyone appreciates it. And last question in here.
Yes.
If you could collab with anyone on YouTube, who would it be and why?
Oh my gosh, there are so many amazing YouTubers out there and I've collabed with Barbie, Dr. Barbie Taylor, who's a great friend of mine. A person who I follow who I think is doing great work is Angie, Hot and Flashy. She's great with skincare. And so, you know, I think anybody who is of this age and demographic, who's out there helping women of this age and demographic, I am thrilled to do a collab with. You know, I think the more women we can touch, the better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So come and sit because the sun is starting to set, and so the lighting here in the living dining room area is getting really, really nice. And you know, for someone who's done TV, it's all about lighting.
Absolutely.
All right.
And so Dominique, are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Yeah, bring them on.
Awesome. So heels or flats?
Oh, heels for sure.
And would you prefer the cold or the hot?
Hot.
Makeup or fashion?
Oh, don't make me choose. I don't know if I can choose that.
That's okay.
I can't.
TV or movies?
Well, lately I've been binge watching TV series, so I think TV series win over movies these days.
Do you prefer the daytime or the nighttime?
Daytime. I like light.
Awesome.
Yep.
Vintage or new?
Oh, again, that's a tough one. Come here, boo. I would say new.
And last one, lipstick or lip gloss?
These are so hard because I do both. I do lipstick and lip gloss because I have very dry lips. So I'm just going to say lip gloss just because I need the moisture.
All right. And so what are you currently reading?
Oh, a lot. I kind of mix depending on my mood and what I want to read and when I want to read it. This was recommended to me by a YouTube subscriber. It's called The Way of Transition, Embracing Life's Most Difficult Moments. And so it talks about dealing with transition in life, and there's most certainly been a lot of transition in my life, so that's applicable. And then I met just the other week, I shot a video that's coming out on yoga, and the instructor that I did the yoga class with, a dear friend of his, wrote this book, and she gave it to me, and I've started reading it, and I love it. It's called Chakra Rituals by Christy Christensen. And this is a wonderful book as well. And I'm just learning about all the different chakras. I'm literally right at the beginning, but it's fascinating. And it also ties into my yoga practice and just how powerful that has been for me. So that's what I'm reading right now.
Good recommendations.
Yep.
And what would you say is your all-time favorite book?
That's such a hard one to answer because there are so many books that leave marks on you. I mean, I've read Ayn Rand, you know, The Fountainhead as a child. That's sort of a big picture philosophical book. I think a great book that I've read, and I think it's his best, and it's Pastor Joel Osteen's Your Best Life Now. And I think it was his first book, but I love this book, and you know, what a great time to be reading this as well. And then I also have the 5 Love Languages, which I think is a wonderful read too, and it helps you sort of identify what your love language is and how you communicate and receive love.
For sure. And what would you say you prefer, an ebook or a physical book?
I'm old school. I like book, pages, and coffee with my book. So I'm physical.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And moving on to shopping. Do you like shopping in store or online shopping?
Okay, so I was a mall rat as a kid. I lived at the mall. I worked at the mall. I couldn't get enough of the mall. These days, you can't pay me to go to a mall, so I'm online. And I do all my stuff here. You guys know that I love resale, so I'm on The Real a lot and a lot of different resale sites, but I also adore Karen Millen. She's got amazing clothing and her price point is incredible. Always great sales, great quality, great fit. So I'm a huge Karen Millen fan. Can't say enough great stuff. So this is Karen Millen.
And would you say this is your favorite online store currently?
Yes, 100%. Oh, I can't make it go down because I can't see what I'm doing. But anyway, yes, favorite online store for sure, hands down.
Okay, so question. You're in a pinch and you need an outfit to go to dinner tonight.
Yep.
Where are you going?
Can Karen Millen deliver in an hour? Because that's really what I would want. Do I physically have to go somewhere to buy something?
I have to go there.
Okay, if I have to go there, there's a store in Houston called Tootsie's, and they will have what I need hands down.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you're going to Tootsie's,
Yes.
define the stress. You're in
Right.
the car.
Yes.
What music are you listening to?
It could either be classic rock, rock and country, maybe pop, but a lot of that I don't like so much. Definitely 80s.
And do you have a favorite song?
Anything by George Michael.
And if your life was a song, what would the title of it be?
Oh, Frank Sinatra, My Way. All right, Courtney, let's have a seat on the couch so you can actually have a sip of wine because I'm halfway through and you are not.
That sounds perfect.
That is not right.
Okay, so Dominique, tell me, how is retirement going?
Well, hey, boo. Retirement is really amazing. It's been great. It has been a huge adjustment for me just in terms of my schedule. I used to leave for work, in the afternoon, and I'd have an hour and a half dinner break, and then I'd go back to work, and then I wouldn't get home at 11 o'clock. And so I go to bed at 11:30. I'm up at 7:30 or 8. So my whole sleep schedule has completely shifted. And I love working out of my house. I love my new life. I love, hanging out with this little boo a little bit more. And that's been an amazing transition. And ask me if I have watched any news since I've retired. And the answer to that would be no. I tell my friends, I'm like, y'all, I'm sorry. I love you. I miss you, but I have not seen you. I just do not want to consume any news. I'm done. Absolutely done.
And so would you say, are you missing the news at all?
No. I am not. I do not miss the news at all. That's why we have phones and we can get text alerts if we need to know anything. That's the extent of it.
For sure.
Yeah.
And do you think that you'll ever return to TV?
YouTube is TV, so I think of it that way. Television news, no, it's done. 28 years, it was a great ride, but if it's television, it's something else. It's not news.
And speaking of big changes,
Yes.
I noticed that you're in a new place.
Yes.
So how is everything?
Everything is good. There have been a lot of big changes and a lot of transitions, as you know. I have touched upon it a little bit on social media, but yes, there's definitely been a big life change, and I'm, like everybody else in this world, we all face Really? Really? Are you the star? Are you my ham or what? We all face changes in life. You know, life is never a constant. It's never the same. It is, if we think it is, and if we think that everything will continue as it has, that's a fallacy. You know, we must evolve through life, and sometimes with that evolution comes sort of a giant shaking or awakening to some things, and it forces change. And just in my case, a lot of change happened all at once, and it wasn't something that I planned for or could have forecast, but it's just the way it happened. And you know, I believe sometimes God works that way in our lives, and sometimes we've got to shake the tree a little bit and see where the leaves fall.
Absolutely. So a lot of people have been asking a lot of questions about your relationship. Do you care to address that?
Yes, I can make a statement on that. There have been a lot of inquiries, and to let you know, Nick and I are getting a divorce. And while on one level, some marriages may look storybook in nature, one never knows what's going on inside somebody's home, let alone their marriage. And, you know, I think out of respect to the judicial process, I believe, you know, any further discussion in the court of public opinion just simply isn't right. And, you know, I have genuinely appreciated the collective concern and response. And, you know, it's all I feel comfortable saying about the matter right now, but I do want you to know that I appreciate your support. I appreciate your love, and I appreciate you being with me. You know, I'm not the only one out there who's going through something like this.
And how is Styles throughout all of this?
He's doing just fine. He's actually here. We were right by his bedroom, but you know, just to respect his privacy, I wanted to, you know, you never just barge into a 16-year-old's room, but he's here and he's doing great, and he's healthy and happy, and enjoying winter break at the moment, and has been spending a lot of time at the gym and, you know, getting big muscles. So good for him.
So next question, Dominique, are you happy?
Am I happy? Boy, that's such a big, broad question. Yes, overall, I am. By nature, I'm a happy person. I've always been a glass half full kind of person. I'm a spiritual person. I press into God all the time. I thank Him every day for all of my blessings, and I ask Him all the time to give me strength and wisdom so that I can do more and be more. And I just believe that my walk in faith really is a huge source of that happiness for me. And it's not to deny the dark times, the sad times, the tears, because they're all there too. You know, I'm not trying to paint some kind of rosy picture, but that's what gets me through the dark times, you know, to allow and acknowledge it, to give myself the grace to feel it and not try to hide it. I think sometimes we make that mistake of saying, oh, well, you have so much to be grateful for, you know, why are you sad? Well, sad, anger, frustration, these are all feelings that we sometimes have to feel in order to get closer to ourselves and in order to be better stewards of our lives and livelihoods. So I allow that, but at the same time, I still seek the good in everything, and that's what keeps me happy, and that's what allows me, even in a, you know, difficult time, to say, yeah, I am happy.
That's wonderful. And you kind of already touched on my next question,
Yeah.
But a lot of people are just wondering, you know, during these tougher times, what are you doing to stay so positive?
Well, prayer is a big part of it. My yoga practice is a huge part of it. You know, rest and getting a good night's sleep, connecting with friends. You know, I've been spending a lot of time with people that in the past I simply had no time for because I was so busy and so consumed with other things. So I'm really filling my tank with positivity and good stuff, and it's been really helpful.
Yeah. And like you said, I'm sure a lot of, you know, people, women everywhere can relate to what
Yes.
you're going to.
Yeah.
And so what is the number one piece of advice you'd give to someone in a similar situation?
To try and not let fear take over. It's easy and it's difficult, and everybody's situation is different and difficult, and it's very easy for fear to override and to make you feel sort of frozen in your footsteps, or even afraid to do something that needs to be done. And when I look back in my life at those really difficult times, and I've been through this before, in the whole scheme of things, in the whole radar of life, it's really just a small blip. And when you get past it and you move forward, you realize that you probably made it out to be far worse. And it's not to say that bad things don't happen. I mean, sometimes they do, but you have to get through it. You have to endure. It's a test. It's a test of life. And there is always something greater on the other side. And that's what you have to remember. And that's what I've had to tell myself in the past. And that's what I tell myself in the present, is that there's always something bigger, greater, and more. And I'm going to learn something about myself through this. I'm going to be a smarter, wiser person through this. There's always a life lesson. And so that's, the best thing that I can impart is, don't let fear cripple you, and realize that you're going to grow through this and come out better on the other side.
That's really good advice. Okay, Dominique, there's been one member of the family that everyone's been very concerned about.
I know.
How is Oscar doing?
Well, clearly he's doing great. He's just such a fabulous dog. I love him so much, right? He is clearly loved, and he is equally shared between both parents. So he spends time with me, he spends time with Nick, and he's just a happy, great, amazing dog. So thank you for asking, and Oscar is bueno.
Where is your favorite place in your house?
I would have to say, in this apartment, this balcony is killer. So I'm going to take you outside. And also the sun is setting, so the lighting is really, really pretty, and the Christmas lights are out, and I'm really just going to call them permanent lights because they're staying up all year round. I absolutely love them. But
wow.
The sunsets out here are amazing. As you can see, it is setting right there to the right of the Williams Tower. And so this is all of the Galleria in front of you. So that's facing west, and then facing kind of southeast in this direction is Highland Village. So this is a big shopping area as well. And then below, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but this is why Oscar loves it so much. So this is a little dog park. And right around this time, all the dog owners who live here come out with their dogs, and they run and they play and absolutely have a field day.
Oh.
So it's good times for everybody. Oscar loves it down there. Mama loves it up here. Okay, so I have to show you something really cool. You know that I love flowers. So what I did was I went on Amazon and I got a bunch of planters and planted just flowers kind of in different spots around the balcony here. But this was a really neat idea, and I don't know where I got it from. I think I was just searching on Amazon. But so this area, I got this table. This was also Amazon, right? And when you sit at this table and you look down, right over here was the top of a garage. And I thought, well, I don't want to see the top of a garage. I really want my focal point to be up and to look at the skyline. And so I saw this fake boxwood, and these are cubes, they're squares, and you connect them. And so they're all like snapped in together. And I connected the boxwood, and I did little zip ties, and I tied it all around. So now I have this really cool fake faux green space, right? So I can look at my boxwood and
just stare at that beautiful sunset. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful.
Isn't it cool? And it also turned out to be a really good wind blocker, because the wind, when it comes from the north, really clips this way, and it helps to sort of cut that, the wind can get through, but it's not as breezy over here as it is on the other side.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dominique, earlier you said one of your favorite books was a book about love languages.
Yes.
What would you say your love language is?
Oh my gosh. Physical touch is a big one for me. And the other one is, quality time. Because I know it's specific. And I was thinking communication, but it's quality time. And so it's how you spend time with somebody. That intimate dialogue and connectivity, super important. So those two. I've got 2 love languages.
Next question. How do you define beauty?
Beauty. Beauty is all-encompassing. It's not one thing. Beauty is, to me, a way that a woman carries herself. It's her belief in herself. It's not so much about physical attributes per se, but there is something about a self-assured, self-actualized, confident woman who feels good in her own skin, and she's intelligent, and she's insightful, and she is open and receptive. That, to me, makes somebody beautiful.
It's a really good answer. And tell me, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I don't know, I kind of like this balcony. I just want him to be around for 10 more years.
Of course.
He's 9, so I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. That is a great question. I don't know. I really don't know, but I love the unknown, and I love the openness and the opportunity. So if you stay with me for 10 more years, you'll find out.
And who would you say is your role model?
I don't really have a person who's a role model per se. I mean, I did when I was in television news and I was young. And I think it's really healthy and good to have role models when you're young and starting a career. So there were some amazing women and pioneers and trailblazers in the business at the time who gave me something to aspire to. But now, you know, I don't have somebody that I look up to. I just want the best within me. I want me to be the best me that I can be, and to be there for somebody. So I think my philosophy, maybe it's because I'm older now, it's in reverse. You know, I want to be there for somebody. And so that's what I hope to do and to aspire to.
Absolutely. And speaking of your younger self,
Yes.
what advice would you have given, what would you give to your 30-year-old self?
My 30-year-old self. Get out the door without makeup on and stop caring about what people think. That's what I would say. I don't know why. I felt like I had to have the full war paint on before I would leave the house. And I think it's just sort of steeped in insecurity and maybe not liking things about yourself. And the older I got and the more comfortable I got in my own skin, and the less I cared about it. Now I run around all the time without anything on, you know, no makeup, hair, I'll just kind of run my fingers through it, throw on a jogger. People will say to me, are you that, you know, used to be news anchor, now it's YouTuber or whatever. And I'll say, yeah, I'm her, you know, this is me, and
Yeah.
I'm unapologetically me.
Yeah. And what are you most looking forward to in the new year?
Oh, definitely the book release. Definitely the book. I'm so excited about it. I'm so looking forward to that being received, and it has been a labor of love for me to be able to write a book while holding down 2 other careers and family and all of that. It's a miracle it even got done. But I am, again, hopeful that if one person grabs a hold of that content and uses it to make powerful and lasting change in their lives, then it was all worth it. So I can't wait for that.
Absolutely. I think everyone else is really excited
Thank
too.
you. Pre-order.
Yes. And what would you say is your biggest motivator?
My biggest motivator is to constantly strive for new levels. You know, it's not necessarily being unsatisfied with where I am, but it's what more can I do? What more can I contribute? How can I do this better? How can I be more impactful? How can I grow myself and broaden my perspective, broaden what I do. There's a train coming, by the way. There's a train track right there. I love the sound of the train. So it's always looking to discover who I am as a person and to bring new things into my life. So I hope that best answers it. Choo choo!
All right, next question.
Yes.
If you could trade lives with anyone for one day, who would it be?
Anybody. Oh my gosh. I don't know. For me, it's more of an experience thing. So anybody who has sort of a hut-like home on a white sandy beach with the most beautiful water, I'll take that for a day.
That is very
Gladly.
specific.
It's very specific. So it's not a specific person, but it is a specific environment that I'm looking for.
That's a good answer.
Right?
And what would you like to be remembered for?
Oh, I don't know, making a difference in someone's life, making them feel beautiful, valuable, special, worthy, important, competent, creative, capable, just making somebody feel like they're living their absolute best life. And if I had any role in that, well, that's everything.
And what would you say is inspiring you right now?
To do the same, honestly, to do the same for me, to bring those attributes to my life and to seek ways to live that self-actualized life so that, you know, when I take my final breath on earth, I know that I did all that I was created to do.
And how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Introspective, intelligent, and passionate.
Those are good words. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would you change?
I need more patience. I'm very impatient. Ask my mother when she asks me for help with anything technological. I'm like, why can't you figure it out? I have to remember. You know, different generation. Be patient.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's a good one.
Yes.
And what's one thing that people don't know about you?
Read the book and you'll find out, because there are a lot of things in there that you don't know about me.
Can you give us a sneak peek?
Nope. Okay, back inside, because I know everybody wants to see the bedroom, bathroom, and closet. To me, you know, it's very basic. I have to say, everything in this apartment is very, very simple. You know, restoration hardware and Amazon, and you know, I'm not hoity-toity by any means. And so that theme continues in the bedroom, bathroom, and closet. But come on in.
I think we're all dying to see.
Okay.
And what is a self-care ritual that you can't live without?
Sleep is my self-care ritual. This is everything. Sleep. 8+ hours of sleep is what fuels you. It feeds you. It's your best anti-aging weapon. It's your best, you know, not biting somebody's head off weapon. It's everything to me. So a super comfortable, cozy, warm bed. And I'm one of those people, I have blackout shades, and then I have blackout curtains, because it needs to be pitch black. I'm even one of those weirdos that will grab a sock and I will cover, for instance, the light right here from the cable box. Okay, I can't even have that showing at night, so that's what I do. But anyway, so rest is my thing.
For sure. And
Yes.
how do you unwind at the end of the day?
Read. I've got books by the Nightstand, or I will watch, you know, some of my favorite shows. So of course Yellowstone is out with its new episodes, and I've been loving all of that. And so just like you know, I hang out in here and I may watch a TV show or just kind of relax my brain with some really good brain food and a book. And then there's this guy, and he helps me too.
And do you have a go-to nighttime prayer?
My prayer, I don't have a specific prayer per se, but I pray every night, and it's always a list of thanks. You know, thank you, God, for this. Thank you for that. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this life. You know, I pray for wisdom. I pray for encouragement. I pray for others to be happy and joyful, and to have a roof over their head and comfort. And so it's just, it's a free flowing, free thought type of a prayer. And it may have something to do with something I saw or experienced that day, or just maybe a need that I'm feeling. Yeah.
And I know that you said Yellowstone is your current Netflix binge.
Yes.
Are you binging anything else right now?
I'm kind of rewatching Outlander, because I have to say Outlander is also one of my other absolute favorites. And I am so late to the game on Mad Men, but I'm starting that one as well. So like everybody else, I got like 3 things going on at once. Kind of crazy.
And what is your favorite sleepwear?
Zip! And there you go.
And what is something you need to fall asleep at night?
Earplugs. Because not only does it have to be pitch black, but there can be no sound.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, super quiet, super dark. That's what I need.
That's a good way to sleep.
Right.
And what keeps you up at night?
Not much. You know, I'm a pretty good sleeper. I have learned just through reading and prayer and setting a routine, a sleep schedule routine, and being consistent with that, to really get myself through the night. And let me also say, bioidentical hormones have played a huge role in keeping me asleep, so that nothing will keep me up at night. Because once upon a time, when I was not balanced hormonally, I couldn't sleep. I would continually wake up, and then the brain starts racing, and then you gotta pee, and then you're back in bed, and then the brain is racing, and then it's this nonstop cycle. So hormonal balance for me was the key to not waking up at night and having thoughts.
That's a good tip.
Yep.
And are you an early riser or a night owl?
I used to be a night owl because of my work, but now I've become kind of an early riser. So for me, waking up at 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning is so weird. But I'm like, wow, I'm awake and I'm refreshed, and let's go get some coffee. I feel like I want coffee.
A whole new life.
A whole new world.
And I see your bed is made.
Uh-huh.
Do you make your bed every day?
Every day. It is the first thing that I do when I get out of my bed, and I'm meticulous about it. I want everything nice and perfect and pretty, and I have always been that way my whole life. Even as a child, I liked a neat and tidy room, and it's very important for me to feel that everything is in its place and to feel that everything is beautiful. And I believe in this dynamic energy that we feed off of our environment, and vice versa. And so this environment feeds me, and when I look at it and it's pleasing to me and it's neat and it's tidy, it puts my head in a very important place as well. So it's like these two energies that are talking to each other.
That's great. And can you show us a little bit maybe what's on your nightstand?
Yeah, I mean, on my nightstand, let's see, I have art, I have flowers because I love flowers. I'm gonna cover that because there's a word. But I don't know the word, and Kate Moss, I don't know, she spoke to me, what can I say? So I've got and then some books and my remotes, and then I have the Sarah Happ lip balm, which I love. I have very dry lips, so I always need a lip balm at night. Kate, naughty girl.
Do you mind showing us maybe your bathroom?
Yeah, sure, come on in. So, and this, I've done a video on about selling clothes on Poshmark. So I've got my little bodice here, but I figured since I would put her in the bedroom, I would drape her with lights so that, you know, she's sparkly. Come on in.
What girl doesn't like sparkles?
Right, every girl loves sparkles. Okay, so the bathroom, hers and hers. And so, yeah, I mean, I've got my Hollywood makeup mirror that I love. And so and all my makeup is stored, and again, everything's compartmentalized, and it's got its space and place and all of that. And I love Kevin Aucoin's Making Faces. This was a book I featured early on in my channel, but he used regular everyday people as well as celebrities to do before and after images. I mean, look at that. You know, that to me just is the power of makeup and what can be done. It's really quite astonishing. So if you haven't seen this book or haven't picked up a copy, I you know, to me, I can get lost in my bathroom and I can flip through this book and pick a page and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that today. That's amazing.
That sounds like a good one.
Yep.
And so tell us, what is your favorite perfume?
My favorite perfume, come this way. So I love this company. It's called The Harmonist and it's Moon Glory. I've got a couple and they're out of California, I think LA, but there's something amazing about this perfume. I did it lightly. Maybe you can smell. What do you think?
I love that.
Oh, I love that.
Ooh.
I just puts my head in an amazing
better
place.
The longer it even lingers.
It is. It just keeps
better.
getting better when it mixes with your own heat.
I love that.
Thank you. Me too.
And what about your favorite makeup product?
Wow. I would say, only because I have purchased it so many times, but Charlotte Tilbury's Angel Alessandra is hands down my absolute favorite lipstick. It's just the perfect nude for me, and I've bought it now 4 times. So that's amazing. For anybody who has been with me since the very beginning, I don't know if I have them, maybe they're hiding back here, but it used to be L'Oreal number 115, Letitia Champagne, until that got discontinued. And that really, really bugged me.
That's the worst.
It's the worst. So anyway, I've moved on. Charlotte Tilbury, please do not discontinue Angel Alessandra. That's all I have to say.
I think we've all seen that featured in a few videos.
A lot.
And how long does it take you to get ready?
These days, probably about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm much quicker because I don't wear as much makeup as I used to. Wow. The process before was a good 30 minutes, you know, with it all. And my hair is short and easy. It's a quick blowout, little pomade. I'm done with that. Lately, I've been doing like a BB cream or a very light foundation. Everything's just kind of pared down. It's not as big and dramatic unless I'm, you know, going out to dinner or I have an event and I want to do makeup that really pops. But lately, a little more minimalistic.
I love it.
Thanks.
And what do you think is your favorite hairstyle you've ever had? 'Cause, you know, everyone loves your hair.
That is impossible to answer, so I will just say what I have now. Because right now it's my favorite.
For sure. And it's blonde right now.
Yes.
So what inspired you to go back to blonde?
I don't know. I mean, what inspires me to get up in the morning? It's as random as that. It's just so honestly. Sometimes it's just seeing images or, you know, I subscribe to Pinterest, and so I get emails from them and they're like, we think you'll like this. And so I'll open it up. I'm like, that hair, that color, I need that. Dring, hey, can you squeeze me in? You know, I mean, it's literally, that's how it works. So it probably was something like that.
Yeah, so consult with Pinterest.
Indeed.
And how often do you get your hair cut, done, colored?
I would say good because it's short, about every 5 weeks. And I don't do a root, so it's just stitched in blonde. And it's actually good because having root is a good thing. So it enables me to go longer between color. And then the other good thing about blonde is I get older and I've got some grays that are coming in on the hairline here. It really hides those. So I find that I can go longer in between coloring, which is great, but I need more trims because the blonde does dry it out a bit.
That is great. All right, getting into the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Everyone wonders, how are you aging so gracefully?
Well, that's a very sweet thing to say, first of all. Thank you. I would say it's not one magic bullet. It's lifestyle, and it's choices that you make about prioritizing your rest and your wellness. So I put the bed, number one, getting enough sleep is hands down, I think, the most important thing to aging well. I would also say that you know, how you take care of your skin, things that you start incorporating. In my 40s, I started incorporating tretinoin, which is retin A, glycolic acid. So getting that cell turnover, not being in the sun as much, you know. I mean, I still believe in vitamin D. I believe you need to be outside, but I'll wear a hat. I'll protect my face, my chest, and all of that. The other part, I mean, aside from a good skincare routine, I think honestly is just living a healthy, happy life. I think when you're happy and you smile a lot, you just look younger. You know, when you take care of your teeth, you look younger. All those things, you know, it's all part of self-care. And last, but certainly not least, is, I mean, there's genetics. Look at my mother. I mean, my mother's amazing. So, you know, there's that. I'm blessed with those genes if I don't screw them up. So, that's what I say.
I think we can all agree that
Right?
your mom is fabulous.
And yes.
You have nothing to worry about.
No, I hope not.
And what would you say is your favorite beauty procedure?
Procedure. Well, I mean, there's so many amazing things. There are lasers, there's Botox, I always joke that once upon a time you would go from face cream to facelift, but that is so not the case anymore. There's a lot out there for women. So I think, you know, a lot of women have embraced Botox early on as sort of an early preventative, and it's worked incredibly well in that respect. And I've done videos on it. I've been open and transparent about doing it. I think I started in my late 30s. I had very pronounced, when I was young, very pronounced frown lines, and it makes you look chronically pissed. I'm so happy. Why do I look mad? And so, you know, we took care of that. But anyway, I think conservative consistency in things like that can really, really help. But there's so much out there. And you know what? And for the woman who chooses to do nothing, great. You know, I am so anti-judgment. I wish that we were all anti-judgment about those things. I think every woman needs to walk her own walk, and we all have to be respectful of that. And so for the woman who chooses to do something, or the woman who chooses to do nothing, God bless her both. You know, it's her walk, it's her path. We should lift each other. That's
Absolutely.
what I say.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
And what would you say your number one quick beauty tip would be?
Concealer.
It'll do wonders.
Amazing.
And if you could only use one styling tool for the rest of your life, what would it be?
That hairdryer by far. And I've used, it's a different model, but I have used the Elchum hair dryers forever and a day, and they're fantastic hair dryers. High heat, high speed. They make the blow dry quick, and for people like me with curly, kinky, frizzy hair, it's the key to a super smooth blowout. So,
Wow.
I love it.
I'll have to get one.
You must. You have great hair. You don't need it.
And for someone starting out, like fresh on their beauty journey,
Yes.
maybe a little bit late in life,
Okay.
what would you tell them? What would be your number one piece of advice?
Are we talking skincare or cosmetics?
We'll say beauty, so cosmetics.
Okay, cosmetics. I think the most important thing is whatever foundation you choose to use, whether it's light, whether it's a BB cream or a heavier foundation, the worst thing is mismatched foundation. So the best advice is to match your chest when it comes to choosing your foundation. People always test on the jawline, they test on the neck, but we have to remember that we are seen as one plane. We're seen as face, neck, and chest. And so for me, my chest reads a little bit more red. My face is pale and yellow. So if I were to truly match my face, I'd have a paler, more yellow face compared to my chest. So sometimes I've got to strike the balance between the two. So color matching is key, and always think about your chest first.
That's good advice. Thanks. And do you mind showing us your closet?
No, I figured that was coming. So come on in. Ta-da!
Wow.
Well, okay, I need to provide a picture of what this looked like when this was just an empty apartment, because this horrified me. So it's the Alpha system, and when I walked in here, it was literally one rod, and I looked in here and I thought of all the stuff that I had, and I thought there is absolutely no way this is gonna work. And I cleaned out a lot, I donated a lot, I got rid of a lot. But what they said to me was the apartment uses the Alpha system that the Container Store has. And so they said you can go to the Container Store and you can have them design a closet system for you. So I thought, that's cool. And I took photos of my old closet so they could see what I had and what kind of space I needed. And we were able to custom create a closet here to give me the kind of hanging space that I needed for what I had. It's still packed like sardines, but it works. So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
And then it's, you know, winter, so I've got like a lot of the heavier stuff here, sweaters, things that are folded, and a lot of the summer stuff is in the 2 closets in my office where my studio is. So then I just kind of switch out winter and summer, but I got enough space. So.
That works. Yes. And so can you show us, what do you think is your favorite piece in your closet? Could be anything.
I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, I would say what gets the most wear would probably be the Hermes belts. You know, to me, they're just classic staples. And they're expensive, I know, but you can go on the Real, you can get these secondhand, and I'll tell you what, they look brand new, you save a lot of money, and I just think it's a classic piece. I wear those with jeans, I wear them with slacks, I belt them with dresses. They get the most wear, and I just think they're so just elegant and stylish, so probably those. Okay, so did I answer all your questions?
I think you did. I have one more to ask. So let's say this was your last video.
All right.
What would you tell your audience?
Thank you for blessing me with your presence, with your encouragement, with your suggestions, with your love. You have filled me like I never, ever, ever could have imagined or fathomed. And so I don't think there is enough gratitude that I could bestow on you. So the entire video would be me just gushing about how amazing you are.
That's amazing. But this isn't your last video, right?
Nope.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for having me and the rest of us
Thank
over.
you for coming. It was wonderful to have you.
Absolutely. All
Come
right.
back again, y'all.
We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye. Oscar, you gotta stay, dude.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.